How's the cardigan coming along?
Slowly. I think I was at just under 5 inches there on Thursday night, and I'm just over 5 inches.
Woohoo. I don't know quite what to say to that. Should probably do
You
some quick
were.
introductions. I'm Loraine from Woolly Madly Deeply, and this is Emma Sadler from Emma Sadler Designs, aka Queen, judging on the name
Oh,
on her
well,
t-shirt.
in the honour of Freddie's birthday yesterday, I've been wearing this t-shirt. So yeah, the legend. It's got to be acknowledged, doesn't it?
Well, it has.
Has everyone got a brew?
And I've had
As
a
we all
lovely party. I've actually sneaked some of Jake's hot chocolate, so let's
have.
hope he's not watching.
Oh, we'll just keep that between us. I have a cup of tea, but not in my big mug today because that's in the wash. So just in a smaller one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And everyone's got a whip, hopefully. What you got your jumper?
I've got my jumper. I have joined the body under the arms.
Oh, are we on colour number 3?
We are on colour number 3.
Oh, that's exciting.
So that's
I
how
love
far
those
I've got
colours.
with that. I may put it on hold and do some sleeving or perhaps neck finishing, and then think about what colours to do next.
Okay.
And as Emma will know, because we were just setting up the tech and checking the microphones and doing all of that stuff. I've just had a parcel delivered. It's not a yarny parcel.
Oh,
I had a really crappy week last week with Slimming World. I think with the painkillers and just feeling a bit pathetic and a bit sorry for myself.
yeah.
No excuses, really. I just was a bit off track with my snacking and other stuff.
Yeah.
And everybody at group said journal. So I could have
Uh,
got this probably £2 or £3 cheaper on eBay, but I
okay.
got it at Amazon. Ordered it yesterday, arrived today. It's nothing fancy. It's just days, meals for planning.
Yeah.
What you've had in terms of free, speed, healthy, sins, drinks of water, how you're feeling, what time of day you eat, exercise, and that sort of thing. And I almost spent a few quid extra to get one that had stickers and stuff like that. But to be honest, I'm not really that motivated by badges and awards. It's not really my thing. I'd much rather see a lower number on the scale. Catherine's here. Good morning,
Hi,
Catherine.
Catherine.
She's got coffee and socks.
Sounds
Well,
good for a Sunday
I
morning.
hope you're drinking the coffee and knitting the socks, not the other way around.
I'd like to see her try and do it the other way around, though. That could be quite interesting.
Well, that could be a video all of it. Oh, now
Definitely.
Helen says, "Hello, ladies, popping in for 5 minutes while she sews on name tapes." You and that rock and roll lifestyle, Helen. I don't know.
Living the dream, almost as exciting as me cleaning the cooker hood on Friday.
Oh, what on earth possessed you to do that? Did you
Well,
stick to it or
because
something?
it's actually really embarrassing. Please don't tell anyone. But I noticed that there was a cobweb covered in grease. And I was like, no, this has just got too far. I really, really need to clean this. But then, because it was stainless steel, brushed steel, nothing gets the grease off those things because it's like, do not use on stainless steel, blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, who cares about that? So please keep it down. Don't tell anyone, and certainly don't tell my husband. But I have taken the brushed silver coating off my cooker hood. It was that abrasive, so shh. And let's hope he doesn't notice when he comes home.
Oh, Catherine says she did see on Pinterest a way to make a no-sew mask from socks. Yeah,
I made a mask
true,
from socks,
but
and it's not great.
No, it's not great. They kind of stretch a bit.
And the
Which
hole
is the
gets
nature
too
of
big.
socks, isn't it? And the little hole that you cut for the loopy mabobs to go around your lugs gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
It's okay as a stopgap, I suppose, but not something that you wear all the time.
Yeah. And you won't be able to
my
drink your
opinion.
coffee through it either. And if you've got nice, hot, fresh coffee.
And if you've got a decent pair of socks, you just ruin them.
Well, especially hand-knitted socks. I can't
No,
imagine
exactly.
taking scissors to those. That would just be torture, wouldn't it?
I mean, I know there's steeking, but that's just not on.
I was on Zoom with PJ and the ladies last night, and we were
Ooh.
chatting to Fishing Moose. Was it Sarah? Sarah Fishman. About bus darts, and I was able to point her towards the video we did the other Sunday about bus darts. And...
Was that intended?
Sorry?
That pun, was that intended?
Oh, absolutely, yes. Pointed her in the right direction, yeah. Yes, we made every boob and nipple joke imaginable, much to PJ's amusement.
With the Boobingtons?
Yes, with the Boobingtons and the pasties and all the rest of it. So, yeah, we did all of that. Today, we're supposed to be talking about Pantone.
Oh, yeah.
Not Pantone.
He's behind you.
He might be behind me. But are you supposed to boo and hiss if he is?
Yeah. Oh, no, you're not.
Yeah, so Pantone baddie.
Yeah.
They do pick some ridiculous colours. So let me see if I can share screen.
Excellent. And I actually have a Pinterest board for autumn winter 2020 that we can share if I have time as well.
Lovely. Right, so can you see this? Can you see it okay?
Oh, Loraine. So you just have to go one more, don't you?
Well, let's see if it works first. So, as I mentioned last week, there are two sets of colours. Okay,
yeah.
So there's always the colours from New York.
NYFW.
And then there's always the colours for London Fashion Week.
LFW.
Yeah. They're all available on the Pantone website. I think it's under the heading of Colour Intelligence or something like that. But they will show you what the predicted colours are. And they've got all the colours names and the hex codes for anybody who's into sort of the geeky stuff or the design in terms of Canva or whatever. You can match the colours more or less perfectly. So I'll start with the New York colours and then come up with some suggestions. Now, I can't remember the colour names and it won't let me look at them. I could probably look at them on my iPad. But basically we've got a lighter peachy colour, a darker peachy colour. Yeah. We've got, I think it's burnt sienna. We've got kind of a lighter mandarin orange. There's the yellow. It's a true navy.
Oh.
So that's more or less a universal, but not quite. There's a burgundy. There's a more purpley shade. There's the ultramarine. There's a pinky colour. And then there's a lighter peachy colour.
Okay.
But the things that stand out on this for me are that mandarin orange, the yellow, and the blue, because the blue is quite intense.
It is, yeah.
As is the yellow. It's quite a bright yellow.
Yeah.
Like and the orangey colour again. They stand out as not really going with the rest.
Yeah.
They're of a different intensity. And then for neutrals, they've got this almond oil colour, military olive. I think the deep blue is called dress blue or something like that. Certainly in the UK version, it's dress blue. And the grey has got the charming name of sleet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not exactly
I
inspiring.
I prefer those colours.
So I played around with some combinations. So I went with sort of the subtle and the darker peachy colour with the military olive and then the almond oil. The darker peachy colour is called sandstone. I don't know if you can read that on screen. But that would be quite pleasing. You know, you could have a lighter coloured cardigan. You could have, I've got this colour trousers on today. To go with my top, and this peachy colour isn't a million miles away from my the pinky colour on my top. So you can see how they're sort of in harmony, and then there's this sort of deep burgundy. It's called Faded Brick. I quite like
Yeah.
that with the almond oil. And then this pinky colour, which I've got on my sort of khaki olive t-shirt.
Rose tan.
Yeah, so again, they're all fairly harmonious. I added back in the deeper colour, the
Yeah.
sandstone, the lighter peach. They'd be great for colour work together. And then for sort of darker highlights or cuffs on a jumper or ribbing or something to go with colour work. Any areas that are likely to wear or get mucky would really make sense to me to do the edges of those in the darker colour and then include it in the colour work elsewhere. Because if you do it with the creamy colour, it's always going to look grubby.
Yeah.
This sort of purpley colour reminds me of
Blue Depth.
Blue Depths, yeah, deep bluey, purpley. It's kind of got an inky quality, and I quite like that with the yellow and the cream. So you can imagine like a Breton striped t-shirt.
That one, is that called Green Sheen?
Yeah.
That's an interesting name for a yellow.
Yeah. It's bizarre, the names that Pantone come up with.
Okay.
But
some
yellow linen
I
trousers.
do like that mix together though, those three. It's lovely.
And on the catwalk, somebody had some trousers in the yellow with navy and cream. Okay. So I thought that was an interesting combination. I wouldn't wear that yellow anywhere near my face because it's too bright for me. All you would see is the yellow. But with a pair of trousers with the navy and with the cream, it would be very classic. Or you could have it for an accessory that matched.
Yeah, like a handbag or something.
Yeah, and for someone who's a bright spring or a bright winter, they could definitely get away with the amber glow green sheen and this sort of classic blue, this tree blue colour, which is very intense.
Yeah.
Very, very strong blue rather than a softer muted. So I think if you're wearing any of these colours, you need to be a bright spring or a bright winter or keep them well away from your face.
Yeah, see that combination.
Sorry?
That combination of three would just look horrendous on me. I don't think I could wear those three together anywhere.
It would be overwhelming for you and for me.
Yeah.
I could probably get away with the yellow and the orange as a colour pop in a more neutral sweater.
Yeah.
But definitely not near my face.
Yeah.
Again, another bright person, navy trousers, navy cardigan, these colours in stripes on a creamy top or something, where it's slightly more subtle. Again, somebody who's warm would need to be in that. These are all leaning on the warm, even though the faded brick, it's kind of in the middle. It is more soft muted. The samba colour, definitely for somebody warm rather than somebody cool, but a deep winter might get away with it. The peachy colour and the cream, again, very much on the warm side and possibly more soft muted. But I can definitely imagine those in a sweater or a cardigan for me.
Do you think most people could get away with the almond oil one though?
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah, it's relatively neutral.
Yeah.
When we get to the London colours, they've got a different light neutral.
All right, okay.
This is why I wanted to show both. I've done more combinations with the New York ones because I think they're more wearable for more people. So someone who is a summer and generally speaking can look amazing in grey, where the rest of us tend to look a bit like death warmed up. But they will look fantastic in most greys. Would get away with the sleet as kind of the grey trousers, grey cardigan, and then could have a colourwork sweater or striped t-shirt or any of those other colours with it, where the grey was the predominant. So that
I like that sleet.
There was a lot of animal print on the catwalk using grey and this pinky colour.
All right, okay.
And the sort of purpley burgundy shade that we looked at earlier as well. Yeah. I thought the sleet being cool went well with the ultramarine green and the almond all. For all it's slightly warm, again would be a good neutral. I can see that in sort of a brioche rib creamy cardigan, grey trousers, and then
I like that
green
combo.
and grey pattern in the top.
Yeah, I do like that combo. That's nice.
And that would be really good for checks. The
Oh
catwalk is
yeah,
full of big tweedy checks and
yeah.
coats. Coats fastened with belts. Not a good look for me. It makes me look like a sack of tatties tied up in the middle. But if you are slim and willowy, then it's amazing. So more classic look. This with a white t-shirt and these colours in part of your outfit for someone who is cool.
I
A
like
summer
those.
or a winter would be really good. Someone who's a spring probably needs to avoid grey like the plague. It's not really flattering or supportive to them. But if they wore it with this sort of intense blue and then this sort of screaming orange,
Yeah. What's it
yeah,
called?
I'm struggling to
Afterglow.
say afterglow. Yeah, something I don't
Oh.
remember much of either. Um, Back to green sheen, I want to say Mr. Sheen. I
Oh
thought
yeah.
that would be fun with the yellow actually, because there's a coolness about the yellow when you show it with the green. And I
That just
think
shouts of
that in
spring to me.
fine pinstripes on a shirt with a grey outfit or black
Yeah.
would be interesting. Military olive with the grey and with the almond would be a way for a summer to wear the olive because it's quite a warm green.
I like those three.
It's quite intense.
Mm.
Um,
I do like an olive green though,
oh,
personally.
most of my outfits have olive green or sort
Yeah.
of bricky burgundy or peachy colours. It's kind of what I live in. So back to this magenta purple. Very much a summer colour, but a deeper
Something sherbet.
winter or a cool winter could wear it. They could team it with the rose tan. It's a bit of a warmer pink, blushy, a bit like rose gold. But with the
Mhm.
grey and a cream, you could absolutely make that work and tone it down. And there are cooler versions of this pink still in the
Okay.
shops.
Right.
And I wanted to show it with the navy as well, because obviously they're fairly classic combos.
Yeah.
And then again with navy and grey with this magenta purple. That would be beautiful on a summer person.
That's gorgeous. I love the navy with pretty much everything.
I do wear quite a bit of navy. I wouldn't wear a classic blue like this because it's too
No.
intense and overwhelming for me, but I've
I
got a
mean,
friend who's a bright spring who could completely carry this off.
you know how much I love blue. Absolutely love blue. But I think even for me, that blue would only go on a pair of trousers. I
Yeah,
don't think I would
yeah.
wear that on
Yeah,
a
you
top.
would need it near away from your face. And again, for
Yeah.
me, I've got a couple of pairs of jeans in that sort of blue,
Hmm.
but I wouldn't wear a top in that colour, and I certainly wouldn't wear a jacket. I've
No.
got an animal print faded kind of denim jacket in this sort of samber colour.
Oh,
And I often wear that with my khaki jeans. And I've
yeah.
got a creamy top, you know, these burnt out t-shirts where it's got sort of two layers of colour and it
Yeah.
it's a peachy colour and a creamy colour, and that looks really good together. Um, and I've got a cardigan in the military olive, which again I could wear instead of the jacket. And I'll layer
Yeah.
that with the almond oil. I think that would be a really nice colour work combination.
Yeah, I think so.
Again, just sort of the neutrals.
I
They've
like
put
those.
military olive in the neutrals in the New York Fashion Week, and for me, it's very much part of my wardrobe. And the navy, most people can wear a navy.
Yeah.
It's just making sure it's not too dark for you, or too muted for you, or too intense.
Hmm.
But as long as you're wearing it with other colours that support you, then you can more or less get away with it. And I paired it again with the green and the almond oil and the intense blue and the navy blue, because monochrome, where you're wearing different shades of the same colour,
Yeah.
can give you a lot of variety. They'd be lovely in a scarf.
Oh yeah, that would.
And again,
Yeah.
I thought this was fun for colour work. Another one, so we've got the two greens together, which it does work, even though one's slightly cool, one's warm. And then the neutral with the navy, the blue depths. That's really quite an intense. I would wear that for trousers, possibly a coat, but I want a more supportive colour for the scarf.
Okay.
So you'll see the difference in the London autumn colours. They're a lot more in your face. This mandarin red, they're calling it. I quite like the brick colour. I like the navy. The orange is too in your face. They've kept the military olive. They've got this sheepskin colour, tawny brick, and they've paired it with this burgundy, which I think is beautiful.
It is, yeah.
But for me, the orange, the bright blue, the red, and the bright yellow would work together, possibly with the green, but they're overwhelming compared to the others.
They are.
These are the neutrals for London. So we've got this off-white called Jetstream. Sorry, I need to go back to that. Sheepskin is this warm kind of camely peachy colour, and there's a lot of sweaters and cardigans in the shops in that colour.
Yeah, I like it.
And there's a lot of the Almond Oil, Marks and Spencer's, Bon Marche, shops like that have stayed with a standard creamy colour rather than this cooler white that London have gone for. They've gone with the navy, they've gone with the grey because they're kind of the new black, aren't they? But again, I wanted to show the tawny blush with that burgundy colour with the grey and with the sort of white. That would be a good combination for a summer, as long as the grey and the white and the burgundy did more of the talking than the tawny birch, which is a little touch warm, but they get away with. Somebody who's a bright spring would absolutely rock these.
Yeah, they're very bright, aren't they?
They are extremely intense, and they'd be okay. You know those expensive scarves you see in the department stores from likes of Gucci and the like, where they've got chain designs and things like that on them. You're seeing a lot of those kind of, my mum calls them old lady scarves.
Oh, yeah.
I thought this was quite a nice neutral, sort of softer, muted combo that a summer or an autumn could get away with. And then on the cool side, definitely summer or winter for this one.
Love
got that deep, intense blue, the true blue, the sleet. I mean, you could even have the brighter blue in here if it was just pops of it rather than lots of it.
Yeah.
I thought this was interesting because you do see burgundies with cooler greens and the sheepskin, and any kind of neutral creamy white colour do seem to be popular, and that's sort of as far as I'd got really.
Wow.
So let me leave.
Loving those. You see me, I'm just sort of like settled back enjoying the show.
Yeah, thanks for all your hard work there, Emma. It was just
it's a good job I wasn't picking my nose or something when you come back to me then.
Well, yeah, that's what
we'll have to have a code word. Like shout giraffe or something just before.
Oh, okay. I'll try and remember to do that.
I did do a little bit of a Pinterest board of some things that I saw that looked quite interesting.
Okay,
you want to have a look?
Go for it.
Okay, let's
and I'll see if we've got any comments.
Yeah, you read the comments.
Oh, so Helen says ignoring the blue and yellow, blue, yellow and orange are quite like the colours.
Yeah.
And Catherine like the sort of Christmassy colours at the end. Yeah.
Getting you in the mood for it, aren't they? Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's always fascinating if you look on the Vogue website, and then look for the fashion shows for autumn and look at ready to wear for the various designers, you'll see that some of them got the memo, but a lot of them didn't, and they went with their own colours. And
I was looking at clothes and stuff this morning, and Callum happened to be there, and there was a lot of, catwalks and it's saying ready to wear. And I'm going, how on earth is that ready to wear? I couldn't wear that. There was one that was a dress. And if you remember the puffball skirts of the 80s, where the puff ball sort of like came out and then went in at your knees. Well, this one came right out and went in at the woman's ankles, and I was like, how does she walk? Has she not got
on a bus?
Well, exactly. And how on earth is that ready to wear? But anyway, I'll show you what I put on my Pinterest board.
Yeah, I mean, while you were organised, yeah.
Do you like these? Look at these.
I do. There's a lot of grey.
Well, you know, these are all things that I just liked the look of, or I thought were, oh my God, I've got to show everyone this because it's hilarious. Such as, see, look at this. Look, ready to wear. Really? Where's the rest of it?
Yeah.
Have you forgotten?
Here are my tips. Please take them.
Ready to wear. What is it? Is it a shoe or is it a sock?
Yeah. I'm
not quite sure. I mean, you know, when they say ready to wear, it's hilarious, but never mind. There's things in here I love elements of, but you couldn't, for example, this skirt and jumper, love, 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 love. But
yeah.
Wouldn't you look a bit of a tit walking down the street like that?
Yeah, especially with the headscarf.
Yeah, you know.
Madame Medusa's, you know, pawn shop boutique.
Exactly. Now this knitted dress, it's a bit like, I didn't want to get out of bed this morning, so I brought the bedding with me.
Yeah, it's a bit sacky. I like the military olive, but yeah, very sacky and shapeless.
Exactly. This jumper, now see, to me that is the way that you wear an ombre. You go with the dark at the bottom and get lighter. I love it. And I do really like this jumper here. I thought that was very nice, although I'd like some sleeves for winter, I think, to be honest. Does anybody know what happened to her underwear? Did somebody forget to leave it out for her, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm getting the point in that photo.
Take your eye out with that one, I think, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's a good job it's not a cold day.
Yeah. So which one on here screams out, oh my God, what on earth is that? I have to share it with Loraine.
I think the business onesie.
I was talking to Phil at the time and I said, oh my God, some woman's wearing an adult baby grow.
Well, and I'm assuming it has poppers for ease of changing and other activities, but
it looks like it's got a zip. Yeah. It looks like one of those things that you have to completely get undressed.
There were a lot of big statement collars and bell sleeves and poofy sleeves, but that started about 3 inches off the shoulder and kind of looked like nobody had measured
poofy sleeves, definitely.
I see that sheepskin colour that lady's wearing on the right. I quite like that. And there's a lot of pattern clash, they're calling it.
What, like pink and red?
Multiple patterns in skirts and stuff.
Yeah. Now these two, I thought these were really good because all those boards that you've just showed us with the combinations, any of those combinations you could put into a jumper like this one, couldn't you?
Absolutely. And obviously go with the colours that are best for you, closest to your face.
Yeah. Again, with this one here, you know, you go with your favourite colour as the main colour and then put the ones, maybe the colours that you absolutely love, but you know that you can't wear them.
Yeah.
Because there was a few colours on there, I love them, but I knew I couldn't wear them.
Yeah.
This jumper's ideal for that, isn't it?
And the other thing to be aware of with striping and colour blocking like that is you don't want to stick those colours anywhere that you'd rather people didn't stare at.
Yes, definitely.
So if you've got a big bottom, you don't want a massive band of orange on your head.
Hello!
Yeah.
Love it, absolutely love it. Although actually, I think somebody had been to McDonald's with this jumper.
Right.
Can you see the little M's at the bottom?
Oh, yeah.
I think somebody was missing their Big Macs during lockdown.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
Right, okay, so now we've got another one in here. I was thinking, oh, Loraine is going to love that combination.
Funnily enough, I was in the process of knitting myself a bin bag and an outfit just like that. So that
But
I could put a gigantic sash across my hips and a huge bag and say, aren't these massive?
yeah, fabulous. I mean, come on, it's cold outside. I'm just going to go with the flow. I love it.
Yeah.
What about workout outfit? Nobody else is coming on board with the masks. I love it.
I
do
quite
like
like that. I think you'd
I
have to
love
be
the
very
colours.
careful about your pattern placements.
Yeah, I've seen some very unfortunate placements of things on workout gear before.
I like the Chanel picture. I know that they're obviously flogging the bag, but I quite like the cardigan.
It was, yeah, the cardi that I went for, because it's very much like a 1940s style.
It is. I mean, some of the couture versions with the massive bell sleeves were just at the point where you wouldn't even get near the bedroom door and you'd be wrapped around every handle in your goddamn house.
Yeah, yeah.
You would be tripping over the wretched things. But as a feature, I think that's very pretty. And I like the vertical lines almost pleating on that sleeve.
It's gorgeous. And I think it's got like a little bit of a flick on it or something. Now, this one was just for the colour, because you know me, that looks like a me colour. I love that. And this one is because, you know, these skirts, I've seen those quite a bit. They've been in fashion quite a bit, haven't they?
Yeah.
But I've always thought, I don't know, I couldn't wear one because I wouldn't know what to put at the top. No matter what I've seen anybody wear with them, I always thought it looked a bit weird. But I actually really like that jumper and skirt together.
It is nice, but just bear in mind if you are broader on the hip, a pleated skirt would underline it in the same way that Hitler's moustache is very recognisable on his face.
I do think those skirts are only for skinny people, because otherwise the pleats get stretched in the wrong place, like you say.
Tummies or hips are no good for
Not
pleats
good.
like that. But I love the colour combination that they've used.
Gorgeous.
I think that's beautiful. Nita is saying that none of the colours for the fashion predictions scream autumn to her. No, they don't, and that's the sad thing about the actual predictions, because they're about what the designers feel like making rather than what suits the time of year. Helen loves the big socks, perfect loungewear. And
they look like they had a heel in them, though.
And the lady with the pink top, Helen's saying that if your boobs are like that, you probably don't need a bra.
Do you know what? If my boobs looked like that, I'd be wearing that top all the time. Maybe not.
Swapping traffic. Yeah. I quite like the olive coat.
Yeah, that one's a nice one. I like the style of it. It's still a bit military. Still hanging on. That military's been around for a while, hasn't it?
And I like the, is that a Fair Isle dress or something?
This one here, how gorgeous is that?
That's beautiful.
I really do like that. And I love the boot sock thing with it going on, and the big shawl as a scarf.
Yeah, really pretty.
I mean, I know that's more of a pashmina type thing, but you could so do that with a knitted shawl.
Looking at the lady with the trousers to the right of her on the screen,
this one.
If you were a summer and you were wearing burgundy, say, for the top, then you could get away with that pinky colour that we looked at, or blush pink for the trousers, if you've already got some in your wardrobe. Because obviously what we'd be trying to do with any of this is make it work with previous season stuff, because nobody, you know, I don't think anybody's up for buying a whole new wardrobe just because there's new stuff in the shops.
Well, some people might.
Let's figure out what works with what you've got already.
Definitely. Those shoes were just simply because I thought, oh, those would look nice for me to wear to work. They look nice and comfy for walking around in.
They do.
Right. I wouldn't be able to wear it, but I love that skirt.
That is nice.
I mean, it's like a tent. And I think I would much prefer something that was a more simple style, but it's the colours and the pattern.
Yeah.
Love it. And I like this one because they've got the same fabric, haven't they? But they've used it in different places.
Yeah, and I like the plain skirt with the belt. I think the jacket would look equally good with either outfit.
Yeah. And then these ones are almost exactly the same, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah, it is the same outfit.
It's, just like this one looks like it's got a bit of a filter on it because the colours look more muted than in this one.
They do.
Yeah. So yeah, I was just playing with, I mean, look how gorgeous is that butterfly. I couldn't pull it off, but it's nice. And then like you were saying about the check coats, because you've got this one here and this one here, very Downton.
Yeah, I made a list of sort of the things that I saw when I looked through some of the fashion stuff. So blazers with belts, particularly big checks, or faux leather or real leather. Leather's going to be big this autumn, they're saying. A lot of people are suggesting wide leg pants or skinny trousers.
Definitely wide leg
pants, but I didn't really see a lot of that.
No.
Colour blocking pattern clash was very popular. Multiple patterns worn within an outfit. Sometimes in monochrome, where it was different shades of the same colour.
Yeah.
And other times quite deliberately following a colour story. Chunky chains on jackets and worn with knits. Capes and ponchos worn over knitted sweaters and vests.
Now that's good for knitters.
Yeah, Prada in particular had quite a few knitted vests. They did more in the plains rather than the patterns, but other designers went all out with the patterns for some of the knitted stuff. Some bright, bold, big pattern checks, bell sleeves, feature collars they were talking about.
So like a lot of them, like this one has got the big turtleneck and it's got the clashing of all the different patterns going on here, isn't it?
Yeah, there's an awful lot of movement within that outfit, but it works because the trousers and the hat are very similar in terms of depth of colour, and they pick out the darker colours in the other items in the outfit. It tones really well.
They've pulled it together with this orangey colour. Everything has got that orangey colour in it, hasn't it?
Yeah, beautifully done.
I like that. I just like the boots. All 3 pairs of boots. Oh, another pair. I just like the boots. I was thinking this one's nice.
I like the asymmetry of that.
Yeah, and you could use all sorts of different colours from the palette on there. Same as this one. You could get quite a few different colours going in there.
I like that argyle with the check of the skirt, and yet you would never have, if I'd have said that to you this morning, you'd have gone, oh no.
Exactly, but I really like that. And then I just picked this
subtle, aren't they?
I love this. Look at that saying, not fragile like a flower, fragile like a bomb.
Awesome. Frida Kahlo, is it?
Yeah, something like that. Here we go. Got to have a decent pair of workout leggings, haven't you?
My goodness, how's that for pattern matching?
Oh, I just
do you want some of those pants, Helen? Are they for you for going out?
And that's another copy of that. I obviously really like that because I've pinned it 3 times in the same board, I think. Right, now you've got to save the unicorns.
Yeah.
You've got to. I just love a t-shirt.
And these unicorns, not just the unicorns.
Sorry.
Yeah, specifically the chubby ones.
This one was another, I don't want to leave my house, so I'm just going to, you know, sit on the sofa all day and be a what you call the millennials with their avocado on toast.
Yeah.
And who doesn't like, I think that's a llama.
Possibly.
Well, you know. And there we go, the last couple. It's the same cardi but in a different colour. And the coat. I actually think I could rock that coat.
I like the sort of statement collar. I probably wouldn't wear it with a belt. I would wear it open. But yeah.
No, I like it. So there you go. That was my little Pinterest board.
Very good.
I'd share some of my favourites. Some of them were just favourites because I thought they were hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of things I could have picked out this morning, but we'd have just been here all day laughing at them. There was a jacket, a tailored jacket on one of them, a very, very slim, beautiful model. But then the shoulders came up like this, about 6 inches above her shoulders. So it kind of stuck out and probably about, I don't know, maybe 6 or 8 inches wider than she was, this kind of pointy thing going on. And I'm thinking that would be a nightmare on the bush. You could take someone's eyes out with those shoulders.
At least they'd give you a bit of room on the tube or something.
Yeah, maybe it's the new social distancing range. I don't know.
I think so. Could they? They need to come out that way as well, if that's the case, don't they?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But hopefully that's given you some ideas of what colours to look out for, how you might put them together. I mean, obviously, when you're combining for checks and things like that, it's always a good idea to take a photograph of your yarns and look at the colours with different eyes. Sort of take a step back, different lighting, and see how they play together. And the other thing you can do on your phone is desaturate the photograph so that you can tell whether there's enough contrast between the colours you've chosen for your colour work to work.
It's a good idea.
Because it's very easy to put things together. And I think if I took this is just scraps. It's not really a deliberate thing. It was a case of what order I grabbed the balls in from the bag and I'm just using them up. But I bet if I took a photograph of these two together, they wouldn't really stand out dramatically. And certainly for the first few rows when I was knitting them, it was very hard. But when I got more to the sort of brightish navy colour, you could really see that even on the first row that was on the needles, that it was dramatically different to the others. For all, they're all still blues.
They're all lovely blues as well. I like all three of those.
But I've got that sort of peachy, pinky, dusty pink colour.
It's nice.
That was in the New York colours on this. I've got the bright orange sort of samba kind of red in there, orangey red. But it's part of the design and it's not overwhelming, so it is possible to get those in. And this is one of the few things I've got where there's a little bit of black in it. I don't generally wear anything but black, except my earphones when I'm talking to you.
I like black. I shall be wearing a full black outfit to work tomorrow. I enjoy black. Oh, you're back. How's everyone's backs today?
I'm alright as long as I don't move or breathe or do anything
or
else.
laugh.
Yeah, or sort of I'm having to pick my cup up with my left hand because if I reach across with my right, it twists.
That's not good. That's not good at all.
So I don't think we've got any more comments. Have we got any new comments?
No, we haven't.
Has everybody gone home now?
I started listening to a new radio station this week.
What's it called?
Absolute Radio. So I would normally listen to Heart, but I got really sick of the fact that they repeat the same songs all the time.
Yeah.
So I've gone on to Absolute Radio, who have a no repeat guarantee. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work because at some point they're going to have to repeat the songs. However, it's going well at the moment. And Caitlin's laughing at me because I absolutely love the advertising guy voice. And he does these funny things. And he's got the big, deep, X Factor announcer voice. And he's going, £0.5 a tuppenny rice, £0.5 of money. That's right. It'll cost you £0.5 to text us. We don't want your rice. And it just really appeals to my sense of humour. But anyway, my point is, I was listening to one of the DJs, I think it was the breakfast show or something yesterday, and they were doing this feature, and I thought we could do this. And it is describe your week or your weekend in two words only. So describe your weekend in 2 words only, and everybody at home listening can do this as well. Just 2 words, and that is it. And then we have to decide, if we can work out what that actually means or entails. So go on then, Loraine.
The first 2 words that leap to mind, I probably have to apologise for. Given it, what you don't know, Emma does know, is my dad's in hospital at the moment. It's not anything. He has problems with his colon. He's got diverticulitis or diverticulosis. I never remember which one it is. But every now and then, everything swells up. And there's only so much room in the cavity, the abdominal cavity. So everything gets pushed up into the chest, which puts pressure on the heart, which causes pain and breathlessness, which mimics a heart attack. So for the last 10, 15 years, we've been backwards and forwards to A&E because he's an overweight man in his 70s and they think he's having a heart attack. So he has to go into hospital, which is where he is at the moment, having all of the tests to prove that he's not having a heart attack. And then this will get fed back to the consultant who's supposed to be getting rid of Harry the hernia, who's 6 years older than I am. That's how long my dad's had it. So if I kind of went with that as the basis of my weekend, it would sort of be Read Word Show as kind of what today was, because I've had to arrange for my brother to pick up my dad from hospital because obviously we were going to be on here, and I just feel like I've been juggling a dozen balls today. But if I went with yesterday, I suppose Colourful Crush.
Oh,
because I sat down and went through hundreds and hundreds of the sort of catwalk and fashion shows and made notes and looked at what was trending, what wasn't, discounted lots of things that are utter tripe and where they must have been on some really good drugs to come up with some of these ideas.
What, like us recently?
Yeah, I mean, some of the more sensible designers like Victoria Beckham and others were more interesting, but whoever's designing for Alexander McQueen's fashion house now, must have been off their tits on something, because these massive, massive bell sleeves, they were almost down to the floor, and you kind of felt like she was having to drag her knuckles to be able to even see her fingers. And yeah. But it was colourful, and it did feel like I'd packed a lot into the day.
Colourful Crush. I do like that. That's a really good description.
So what's yours, Emma?
My two would have to be Mulan Party.
Oh.
Yes.
So are we doing all that now? Have you got a sword?
No, well, it's got to be one of them sticks, isn't it? They use the sticks.
Oh, okay.
Because my friend Rochelle and Crystal, we always used to go to the cinema every week, more or less, and obviously aren't going because of all the stuff. And Mulan was coming out. I don't know if you know, but it's like on Disney Plus, but you have to pay extra to watch it.
Yeah, I got a message asking if I wanted to pay £20 and just thought, no.
No, well, we didn't want to, really, Caitlin and I. But Rochelle got in touch with me and she said, I really want to watch it. Crystal and I will pay half each, sort of thing, and can we come and watch it at your house? So I was like, all right, okay, fine. If you're going to be paying for it, it's not a problem. Don't bother me. So that's what we did. They came and they watched that. Now, I would have been quite happy to wait until December for it. And after having watched it, I enjoyed it. Crystal enjoyed it. Rochelle enjoyed it. Caitlin hated it. They did not take any of the music and put it in there. It's all gone. Every single song has gone. And Crystal was getting a bit confused, and she's like asking questions. She's like, I don't understand what's going on. What's going on there? And I said to her, right, it's had the Disney treatment. Think of it like Star Wars. Okay, Mulan is a Jedi, and she's doing her Jedi training, and they're talking about the chi, but really what they're talking about is the Force, and the Force is strong with Mulan. And she's like, right, got it. So yeah, it was worth a watch, but definitely not worth 20 quid. If anybody out there hasn't paid the 20 quid, don't pay the 20 quid. Just wait. That's all I can say. But
well,
yeah,
I don't know why they didn't put it out into cinemas and give cinemas a boost. I think it was exceptionally greedy of them. But
I mean, and it's quite a lot of money, 20 quid, really. Yeah. So, Catherine says hers would be Long Weekend.
Oh, is it Labour Day or something like that? I
want to know if that long weekend means like, oh my God, this is a long weekend. It's doing my head in.
Or does it mean, yay, long weekend? Woo-woo. Yeah, which is it?
Is it a yay or is it, ooh?
What are you doing up here?
What would her description of long weekend be? Would it be no food?
Starving, hungry would be the two words. Can you hear the squeaks in the background from the furry baby?
They're still loving it.
Is that my baby? Well, they've got one each, but they only ever play with one at a time.
If Caitlin was to
Is that my baby? Bring me the baby.
Caitlin's weekend would have to be
That's
described as blue hair.
Blue hair. Okay.
I've just dyed her hair. Look at that. Look. Blue.
Oh, yeah, those gloves were a really good investment.
Blue mercury, her hair colour.
Okay.
Yeah, her dad doesn't know, so don't anybody tell her dad that she's now got blue hair.
Yeah, he could be one of the people watching.
Half blue hair as well, though, because she's got her normal hair colour and then she's bleached the ends and then put the blue on.
Oh, okay. So Catherine hasn't answered yet whether it's long weekend or long weekend. Yeah, which is it? Which I totally need to know.
So now we need to know. I want to hear your 2 words predicting what you think the week is going to be like. How do you think you're going to describe your week? And we'll check back and see if actually it was.
Oh,
now that one's harder, isn't it?
Yeah.
Should we give you a second to think about that, because Catherine's come back. She has an answer.
Yeah. Paperwork piled.
Oh.
I've got a lot of reading to do for meetings this week.
Oh, that is a kind of week coming up, isn't it?
Catherine says it's Labour Day and double meaning. It's only Sunday morning. So far we were weeding front yard, pruning trees. Then DH mused about taking out a tree. So the neighbour offered the chainsaw and we took out 2 more trees beside the driveway, and more to do today.
Oh.
Yeah, but think how much happier you'll be once that's actually done and it's not there to taunt you.
Is that one of those jobs that you're halfway through doing and thinking, why did we start this?
Well, you were a bit like that with your back garden, but apart from crippling yourself, it's been a huge success.
Oh, Helen says alone productive.
Is this because the boys are back at school? Is Bruce going to be back at work, or are you just going to lock him in a cupboard to get some peace?
That alone productive could have a bit of a double meaning if you... Oh, yeah. Or is it just where my mind is at the moment?
I think it is, yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about work and house and stuff that needed to be done, but you were clearly off on a different tangent there.
I was just thinking about me time.
Okay.
Say no more.
Yeah, all right, fine.
Yeah. I have dusted off my work mobile because my week will be described as work returns.
Oh, what, in the way that Batman returns? That?
Oh, God. Well, you know, if it's lovely Mr. Patterson, but no.
Yeah.
Helen says I've got a dirty mind.
I suppose it was a logical progression for Robert Pattinson to be a vampire and then a bat.
And then get COVID.
Yeah.
It's just not going great for him, really, is it? Bless him.
Not really. I mean, they've done the trailers and stuff, and it all looks as dull as ditch water, bless him. But
is he going to be better than, what's his name? Who was the one that they slated? Oh.
The Batman one that was awful.
Yeah.
Was George Clooney and Chris O'Donnell, and Arnold Schwarzenegger was in it. And,
yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I shouldn't have bothered with that one, really.
It was just the worst Batman film ever, I think.
Yeah.
I preferred Michael Keaton, and I quite like Ben Affleck as Batman.
I just like Ben Affleck, actually. I think he's a good actor. You know. So, yeah. Oh, well.
So is anybody knitting? What? Catherine's on socks. Helen, have you finished sewing in your labels?
Oh, yeah. How many millions of labels as well. God, those were the days, weren't they?
Oh, God, yeah. Well, and he'd still come home with someone else's socks, underpants, and everything on the wrong way.
Did I ever tell you when I was teaching, when I had reception, and at the end of, well, we'd have a whole afternoon for PE, and I'd take half the class for an hour. They would take 20 minutes to get changed, do 20 minutes of PE, and then 20 minutes to get changed back again. And then I'd swap over and take the other half of the class and do the same. And guaranteed, every single week, without fail, there was always a pair of pants that nobody would claim. And the funny thing is, they weren't even taking their pants off. So I don't even know where these pants came from.
I don't know. Jet used to come home with the wrong shoes on the wrong feet, socks on upside down so the heels were on the top, ironing school trousers. Hey, jet set life.
Oh, she is definitely living the dream
Yeah,
today.
you definitely know how to party, Helen.
Sunday
Helen's very
afternoon.
fortunate. She's got a really nice coat that is in a sort of colour somewhere between the almond oil and the Jetstream colour. That sort of creamy, stony colour. That'd be perfect for this winter. Really good neutral.
I'm guessing mine will be out of date now because I've got the mustardy coloured coat that was all the rage.
No, it's still very much in. Depending on which store you look at, a lot of them have continued the popular colours.
So my one that goes sort of like summer into autumn is the mustardy one, the lightweight raincoaty type thing. But my winter coat is it's more like the almond with little flecks of pink in it. It's one of the very few things that I've ever liked that's got any kind of pink in it. If you saw my winter coat, you would never ever have put me in it. You'd have said, my goodness, that is not your idea of a coat.
Oh, okay. I mean, I was quite pleased to see the number of ponchos and capes.
They're going to be brilliant, aren't they? From a knitting perspective or a crochet perspective.
Well, and Helen's a big fan of ponchos. She likes them because they've got kind of a timeless elegance without looking like you've actually made a great deal of effort. Do you know what I mean? They drape nicely. You can pick one that's in either a variety of your best colours or just one of your key neutrals, and then style it with a scarf or a shawl or something lightweight, and you're kind of good to go for lunch.
Yeah.
Because it's just an effortless look, I think.
Just like fling and away. Fling and go.
Do you remember the navy shawl that poncho thing that Helen had on for Yarndale?
Yes,
And how
that
good
amazing
that looked.
thing, yeah.
So yeah, I think there's a lot of potential there, and you can have an awful lot of fun with colour work and stripes and mosaic textures. I mean, this pattern clash idea, I think, would be really great for kind of a patchworky poncho.
Ooh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I've got a pack of the woodland colours from Lucy at Attic 24 that's sort of screaming at me that it wants to be mosaic. How Helen says, yeah, I love a poncho.
Yeah.
For when you don't have time to think, because they're easy to put on and just kind of run. And she's got lots of those. Nita, I'm trying to get some other projects done, and then I'm planning to start a poncho. Have you got a pattern in mind, Nita? Would you mind sharing with us? What sort of thing have you got? What colours are you thinking? Nita looks lovely in cool colours.
Does she?
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely need to know. These are all important questions that need answering.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah.
And I must do that tutorial this week for that alternative SSK and sort out my spreadsheet for the bust dart thing.
Sounds like you've got a very busy week ahead of you.
I've got a meeting on Wednesday afternoon, which is on the 21st. I've got to go to the traffic commissioner in Warrington for the bus charity that I'm chair of.
Yeah.
For a hearing with the traffic commissioner about some licenses we want. So I need to get organised with that, and part of that is organising other people to not say stupid and unbelievably dumb things while we're
How
at
are
the
you going to
traffic
manage
commission.
that?
I'm thinking gaffer tape or duct tape.
Right, yeah, or chloroform.
Yeah,
If somebody's just about to talk, remember the trick. Does the smell of chloroform to you?
yeah, I think that's what I need to do.
I think so.
Yeah, that's kind of the plan. So there's that. I've got tenants committee on Thursday, and it's supposed to be the annual general meeting. And I opened the pack of paperwork that came the other day, and I'm a bit irritated because they should really send an email if it's a go-to or a Zoom meeting, because otherwise you have to type in this quite complicated, awkward URL to get to the meeting. So they sent
And it
that
could
out.
go wrong.
And I looked at the voting form for officers for tenants committee, and they're all dated last year.
Really?
So somebody's done a bit of a slapdash job with that one. So I've sent an email saying, has anybody checked this paperwork? Because we can't actually vote on this now and it be legitimate because it's wrong. So we'll see what comes back. So we've got the link now.
Oh,
from Nita. So it's the
wow.
Coastal Storm Poncho by Abby Knits. Just be aware, was it Helen who had issues with one of the charts with this particular lady and couldn't get any support whatsoever?
Really?
During the gift along last year or the year before.
I've
not heard of anyone else who's had any problems, and her work is always very beautifully photographed. But that is a stunner. Sorry?
The projects, they don't say anything that they had issues, did they?
No, they all seem
quite happy, don't they?
Yeah, so that's good, but I think that's a beauty.
That is beautiful.
Would you wear that, Helen?
That's
Helen has 74 poncho patterns in her library, hoping to get one done this year. I don't have that kind of number of patterns.
This year is definitely the year to do it.
Oh, absolutely. Should we see what's trending in ponchos?
Come on then. Let's see.
Any week now. Just kept up. Do we want hot right now?
Yeah, hot right now.
Hot right now. Okay. So that's been a free pattern, shadow on the wall.
Yeah.
We'll have a quick look at that and then go back. It's just a very, very basic shape. I'm not sure it even is a poncho. It's kind of a glorified shawly.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Thing, but that's the category that put it in. I thought this was pretty. Stana D. Sauter, who's generally known for smaller things, Stana's critters and things like that. I think that's a pretty beautiful colour. And I love it with that camel top.
Yeah.
Very, very pretty. That's a magazine one though, so hopefully that'll come available at some point. Clancy Capler. Self-striping yarns, oddments, mini skein sets. Very good. Yeah. Seam Point, that looks to have some cables on the shoulders or lace. Is it lace? Oh, pretty. And is that mohair? Or something else?
That's lovely.
Oh, lace. A lace solid like a merino with the kid silk. See, I'd completely wear that. Helen would run to the hills because she does not do mohair. This is always a popular one, Girl by Alicia Plummer. I've knitted 2 of these now. Both reside with my mother.
Oh, right, okay.
Because she really liked them and I didn't stand a chance of keeping them. What can I say?
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty. Petra Breakstone, top notes. It's just a lightweight cape. It's not really a coverall. I'm not sure I would make fistful of stitches, but I think it's fun. Bit of Clint Eastwood vibe.
I was going to say I'd feel a bit John Wayne in that. Isn't that a bit like a blanket with a hole cut in the middle?
Well, I would imagine that's kind of what ponchos were for a long time. Granny loves Virus poncho. I think that's really pretty for crochet. Really nice with the sort of gradient, the sheepy swirl.
Why is Granny loving the Virus? Nobody loves the Virus.
I suppose somebody's got to. It's from the Virus shawl.
Oh, right, okay.
I might have this one. I've not made it though.
I was going to say I like the look of that one.
Yeah, I like the little bit of colour work. I like the dots. Very, very simple. I think I'd have to be careful on the length because, again, I would be attached to every bloody door handle, key. I'm not keen on that.
That looks more like a jumper, like a
It's a
oversized
bit
jumper.
sacky for me.
Yeah, no, that's not.
It's a bit like I didn't do a gauge swatch and just knitted
Yeah,
till it
just
fit
went
my
with it.
entire street. I
Yeah,
like gondola, I like the lace, but that's
that's
just a
nice.
very simple rectangle with a neckline on it. Very
I quite
similar
like
to,
that colour one next to it as well.
quickly look at this one because this is mega popular.
Oh, look at that, the neckline on that one.
It's just basically a long rectangle seamed for a shoulder on one side, so it's asymmetric. Super simple pattern. They've used a variety of yarns, very, very clever
I
marketing and
like
yarn
that. It's very
combinations.
simple, but it's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, again, a bit of asymmetry going on.
Hmm.
And there's a blue one, obviously, so
Well, blue.
Stephen West, can't have that without Stephen West.
Is he wearing a skirt?
Possibly, might be pants. They look like cargo pants because they've got
Oh,
big
yeah,
man
with a
pockets.
pocket. I like that. That's more of a shawl, though, isn't it,
See,
really?
that's what I think my bottom and legs look like. And then I look in the mirror and think, how did that happen?
They do look like that. That is a picture of you.
My head, yeah. This is nice. It's a free pattern by Tricot. It's super simple. It's based on a glorified raglan shape, really, with all of the increases thrown out to here, where you would have a sleeve to go over the
Yeah.
shoulders. Very, very pretty. Really well written, easy to follow. It's Aran yarn, 5mm, 6mm, and 6.5mm needles for really nice drape.
Mm,
You don't necessarily have to have the high sort of turtleneck with that.
true, true. There's
Um,
some lovely ones in there.
yeah, this is a bit sacky for me. I love the colour and I
See,
like the
again,
drapey cowl with it. I think I
I
prefer the
wouldn't,
cowl to the sacky jumper.
I wouldn't call that a poncho, really. I
Mm.
don't know.
I don't
Maybe,
think it's flattering
yeah.
in the way that lots of the other. What's your thoughts on that? Oh, Nita, I like the Harvest poncho.
Hmm.
Uh, Nita, you've just increased my queue.
Yay,
Obviously,
enablers are us. Love it.
so Nita's going to have a look at Helen's notes. Helen Gibson, I think, was the one who'd had the
Right,
issue with that.
yeah.
So that's on the other Helen's queue. Indigo Frost. So yeah, we've obviously picked quite a few that people have here. So I'll go back to this, see what else. But I think it's interesting to see the textures and where we talked about combining colours.
Yeah.
That is almost that bright mandarin colour that we saw in London Fashion Week. That's very similar to Sleek. That's very similar to the almost white.
It is, yeah.
You'd have to be quite a bright spring, I think, to get away with
Right.
that as a combination. I can imagine lots of people I know who would want to wear it and it would absolutely overwhelm them.
Yeah.
Ready orange next to the face. If
Just
it's
have to
the
make sure
grey
that you,
next to the face, it would be a bit easier. But I'm
yeah.
much preferring the other combinations people have come up with. That looks lovely on her. Really beautiful, very flattering. That's another nice combo.
Oh, I
Very
like that.
different again with the aqua colour.
Mm,
I think this one's nice with the greys and
yeah,
the blues. Very beachy kind of feel. Nice autumnal one there.
that's lovely.
A bit of pink and grey.
Oh,
Very, very pretty. So you can have a lot of fun with that and then matching the colours to other items in your outfit.
yeah.
I'm not liking Turkey Trot Marley Bird. That to me just looks like a coloured bin bag.
What on earth is it?
I don't know. Is it just me, or is that severely unflattering?
I'm sorry.
I could
Listen
watch
to
telly
you,
in
but
it or be in hospital in it.
I was just going to say she just draped a blanket round her.
But I wouldn't go to the shops in it. I certainly
No,
wouldn't leave the house. I don't know. Is it just me? Am I
no, I
wrong?
don't. I'm not fussed. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not loving that. I like this kaleidoscope. I think you could have an
Oh
awful lot of
wow!
fun with
Look
colours.
how clever that is. That's a lot of short rows, isn't it?
It is, and I like that it's evenly balanced. I like the more subtle versions. Look at
Oh,
how
I like that one.
neutral and beachy that is.
I really
Or
like that.
this one. And that's lovely with her blonde hair.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think as long as you know kind of what your core colours are, you can't go wrong. I think this is interesting. Julie Hoover always does these knits for Shibui where unusually this has only got one yarn, but usually she does them where you have to combine 2 or 3 exceptionally expensive yarns to get the kind of thickness.
Right.
And I don't mind that. I think I prefer the neckline on this to the Espace Tricot, but again, for me, I'd probably have to adapt this for a V-neck. Otherwise, I'd feel a bit overwhelmed.
Pulling at it all the time.
Yeah, and it's not enough of a garment that I wouldn't want to wear a shawl or a scarf with it. Anything else leap out?
No.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, looks free. Espace Tricot again. I think that's pretty. I like the colour work. That would be a nice way to practice your colour work.
Yeah, I don't think it'd suit me, but it is nice. Yeah.
I'm not really loving the project. So there's not anything that.
Again, to me, it's more like a capelet than a poncho.
Yeah.
Sometimes what people describe their things as is not what I would describe them as.
Yeah, there's a few of these that are a bit sort of sacky and not really grabbing my attention for the right reasons. Well, there's something with cables. Again, it's more like a capelet than a poncho to me. But I like the cable, and in a good solid neutral, you could make that a lot longer. You could make that to hip length and carry on with the increases, and that would be good instead of a coat.
Oh, little baby one.
Oh, I think that's cute. Carol Sunday.
I like that. I do like that.
I like the arrow cables, and then the other one on either side goes in different directions to the main cable.
Yeah, I do like that.
And I like the fringing. What do you guys think of that? Helen, I had issues with the Louise poncho that Helen Gibson had issues with. She thinks it's a blanket you can wear. Are we talking about the Marley Bird one there?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but I think that's pretty, and you can have a lot of fun with that. And I like the collar. I like the asymmetric collar. Oh, a bit of crochet there. That's more of a poncho. That one is from a TV series, Arvingen.
Isn't it just like an oversized jumper, though?
It's an oversized jumper. I think Caitlin Hunter has one called a Swan Show because it is a sweater and a poncho kind of fit. And I think that's more of that type. This was attached. It was the pattern that was used for an item worn by an actress in one of the Scandi dramas, I think called something like The Legacy or The Inheritance, which I think is what Arvingen means.
Yeah.
And there are 3 different weights of the design that were made for the different characters in the series. And I quite like that.
That's nice.
Really simple. I like that she styled it with a lightweight sort of scarf nicely. Nicely fills the neck, and it keeps the grey away from her face, because I suspect that that grey is not, perhaps not her colour.
Oh, look at her hair. Love that hair colour.
Beautiful, isn't it? Really well styled photograph, but nice details. Very, very simple knit, very easy. And if you watch Stacey's video, Very Pink Knits, she has loads of tutorials to kind of take you through everything you need to learn.
What's the matter with you?
Really well written. I think that's it. Has that been helpful today to kind of crystallise your thoughts about colours and maybe what? I mean, that's the shawl, isn't it? That's not
a shawl, not a poncho.
Yeah, that's not a poncho in a million years.
Not at all.
That's like weird cheeky, isn't it?
That's naughty.
I suppose that is more of a poncho shape, and I quite like that she's used kettle dyed yarns.
I quite like that one.
And that cable going across and the different textures. That's quite clever.
Yeah, I do quite like that one.
That one is called Sound Stone. So I'll stop sharing it then.
Sound Stone.
Oh, Helen's actually got the yarn kit for the Carol Sunday shawl that we looked at. You should definitely start that one. That would be beautiful. What colour did you get, Helen?
Love to see that.
Inquiring minds need to know.
They do. It's an important question. You cannot tell us things and not give us the full information. You know we're only going to ask.
We absolutely are going to pester. Oh, well, if the Helens can get together with Nita and answer any questions that she's got on the pattern that we talked about with Abby Knits. She does have a really good following. I don't know whether that tells you that her photography is really good and her marketing is better than her patterns. I do not know, because I don't have any and I've not knitted any. So they might be really good and it could be an isolated incident. But when an experienced knitter and designer tells you that they had problems and they got no response, generally it's a bit of a flag for me that
it's a bit disappointing.
I would just be aware before I started to knit of making sure that I don't have questions. Has anybody had any issues on Ravelry over the weekend? Because somebody bought a pattern from me yesterday and then messaged me this morning asking me to email it because she wants to get started. Why don't email anybody patterns? But what had happened is she made a purchase and it's been paid, but they've not associated it to her username. So I've had to gift it to her username, because I said, if I just send you the pattern, that's fine. It solves today. But what about if I send an update? This needs to be in your Ravelry library. Otherwise, what's the point of having a Ravelry account?
Yeah.
So I've gifted it to the Ravelry account with the username that she's got. Hopefully that will resolve the issue. So Helen says it's brown. No, Emma, it's not yours. I didn't make it because I didn't like the fringe, but she's amended the pattern so you can make it without, so I need to do that.
That is your challenge to get done before the gift along. How's that?
Oh, yeah. I think for me, I like fringes, but I would end up wearing it sort of half asleep on the sofa, and I'd have a Labrador hanging off the fringe, just sort of sucking the life out of the fringe.
I was going to say they can look tatty very quickly though, can't they? That's the only problem.
It is. I've got some FOs to show you. Where's my cowl? I re-knitted my hot cocoa cowl.
Oh, that's good.
I'm calling this faux hair because it's two colours. Where are they? Oh, probably up on the top there. They're a light and a dark. It's the Serdar headstart. It's actually a hat kit, so they came with a light brown pom-pom and a dark brown pom-pom. And I've only used about half of the yarn.
Yeah.
So, perhaps. There we go.
Gorgeous. No, you're supposed to leave it up on, like I did in mine yesterday.
So I didn't make it as long as originally the pattern. Really comfy, really warm. It's not machine washable, which, given that it's actually faux hair, it's an acrylic.
That's a bit annoying, isn't it?
Yeah, Helen says scary. I think she means the thought of having to make the poncho, but she could be talking about me in this cowl.
Could be anything really, couldn't it? You know.
Yeah, who knows? So I finished
It
that,
could
and
be the thought of Labradors hanging off your fringe.
could be. And I finished my hat the other day, but I've not posted a picture of that.
Cool.
And I dug out some old pattern samples, so I need to take better photographs of my mitts.
Oh, those are nice.
I revamped the pattern a couple of years ago because these are seamed. You see the seams?
Right, not really. No.
So I rewrote it to include in the round instructions. So I just need to get some different photographs now, and there's a hat to go with. I have got one in this colour combo, but I grabbed this one. This is some alpaca silk. It's a camel.
Yeah.
And a warm red. It's not a cool red. I know it probably looks like a raspberry.
Those could almost be like those colours that we've just looked at today.
And this isn't ribbon. It's Louisa Harding's sari silk in some gold that I think Designer Yarns sent me as a couple of samples when I first placed an order with them. And then there's this textured cowl, which is some merino silk. That I used for that, so I want to get other photographs of that. And then this is my Cashmere Cosy Hat in the new variation that I added to the pattern a couple of years ago, so it's got this sort of brick texture.
That's lovely.
On the different panels.
You're going to get boiled in a minute.
Yeah, and it's over my earphones as well. So yeah, so that, and there's a little hat. And there's some mittens, and that's all in one pattern set.
Cool.
And they're sized from children to adults. This one is a separate one, the Ain hat, and I've done it in the two greens and the yellow as well. But this is my personal favourite. This
nice colours.
Camel and the red, I just absolutely love. I'm going to have to take this off now.
I was going to say you're going to be boiled. But it's not even winter yet.
No. Put my mic down. But yeah, I mean, that took me a couple of hours. I've been watching Heather and Hops. It's a young lass from Hertfordshire who only started knitting about 18 months ago. And she just chats every week. She's a big fan of mohair, so if you don't like mohair, you probably won't like watching.
Hello.
But she's done a couple of outfits. Jumpers, Midori Heroes or Heroes, and some really nice sweaters. She's done a lot of Caitlin Hunter and designers like that. She knitted a swan show for her mum. I mean, how much love is that? What weight is the yarn in the hat? It will work with DK or a worsted. This yarn is meant to be a light Aran, but to be honest, I got DK gauge with it, and I really like the fabric. It's drapey. It's not stiff at all.
Very nice.
So yeah, DK is probably your best start. And the Cashmere Cosy one, right. That is Aran. Where is it? It can't be far away. Hang on. Cashmere Cosy. So this is the teen size. It's not my size.
Right.
But I'll take my headphone off and then show you the difference. So I wanted this to sit further back and not necessarily cover my ears and be as long. So I only knitted this to 15 centimetres before doing the actual shaping.
Right.
But that's Aran yarn. It's that's Superwash Merino Cashmere, and the burnt orange one is Debbie Bliss Blueface Leicester Aran.
Cool.
And that's sort of the textured version. And it could do with a pom-pom, I think. And I gave the option of a brim, whereas this original one, I'll just whip it off.
Be careful what you're ripping off, love.
This one's got a folded brim.
Yeah.
And then a pearl on the turn row. So I just think it makes it really neat inside.
Apart from the ends.
Wear it not for the ends. You could wear it reversibly if you could be bothered to weave the ends in. But you know me.
Ugh.
We don't let ends get in the way of wearing something straight away.
My goodness. Where do you think you are?
So yeah. So Aaron for that one, and it's sized from baby to extra large men's. The pattern itself is written for a longer length hat, more of a slouchy length.
Yeah, slouchy rather than beanie.
So yeah, for that one, I followed the length for the teen size rather than the adult size.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. I'm afraid I think I'm going to have to go because somebody's hassling me here.
Yeah, we've waffled long enough, haven't we? I need to find out what's happening with my dad, whether he's home yet.
Yeah, you do. You definitely do. You have to let us know as well.
Yeah, I'm sure he's fine. I did have to send him my brother's number because he didn't have it on his phone.
Parents. Parents and teenagers, my God.
Yeah, you tell who they rely on in an emergency that you didn't even know you didn't have Colin's number.
Oh my God, damn.
Oh, poor Arthur, have you been beating him again?
He's just here. I don't know if you can see him or hear him, but he's really moaning at me. He's just seeing a little ear in the corner.
Yeah, do you want to put a link in the group at some point for your Pinterest board that you did? Because I think if anybody wants to go back and have a nosy at that, I thought it was a really nice collection. They
can laugh at the shoe sock things with a heel in them.
Yeah,
definitely.
So what now next week?
Yes,
we're not going to be live on Thursday because I've got parish council.
Yeah.
We're not going to be live on Sunday next week. It's Emma's first week back at work, and I've got a torturous week with paperwork, so we thought we'd take a week off. So,
holidays.
So we'll see the Thursday after. I will put into the group with the dates and what we're going to talk about, and then obviously the Sunday after that. So maybe have a think if there's something you would like to talk about or discuss. Yeah.
We're definitely up for ideas or anybody that you like. See if we could get them on to talk to.
Yeah, I've sent a couple of requests out for people to interview and things like that. So Tian Connaughton said that she'd like to do an interview with us sometime. But obviously, if there's anybody who you know, does a podcast or whose patterns that you like, that we can maybe do an interview or have a chat to them, or maybe have a ratch through their patterns on Ravelry if we can get them in person. Have a little bit of a nosy.
We like to poke through the wardrobe, as it were,
and talk about kind of their style. And if you're looking for something interesting to watch, I did see Sari Norland on YouTube the other day, Sari Knits, I think it's called, and she is a page designer sort of for her weekday job for Navita in Finland, or Novita as she pronounces it, which is obviously the way to say it.
Much better.
But she also does a lot of self-published stuff, and she's very beautiful designs. But she was talking about the dichotomy of design, in that when you are designing for a yarn company, it's about using the yarn. It's about how much yarn you can get into a pattern to sell the yarn. That's the end goal of everything. But as an indie designer, I really like that colour. I love that lace. I'm going to design something with that. And that's the agenda.
Yeah, or I've got a need for something in my wardrobe. I'm going to design something for myself. And then, I'll, you know, I think other people might like that as well.
Yeah, so it's very different kind of opposing views in terms of what she's got to produce and for whom. So I thought that was interesting. So if there's anything like that that sort of pops into mind that you want to to chat or discuss or have us look at? I know we did the bust out thing. Are there other shaping issues? Or
Yeah, there's always shaping issues, let's be honest.
if only these clothes manufacturers would just make stuff for real bodies, that would be even better, wouldn't it? But there we are.
Either that or we're all going to have to go back to corsets, which I flatly refuse to do. So
it's bad enough we have to wear bras.
I know. I'm going to take mine off right now, even before I feed the dog. Sorry.
Right, well, we better go.
On that note,
I'm definitely not going to inflict that on you ladies. So I'm sure my dad will be fine. Thank you, Helen. It's just one of those things. They have to rule out issues with the hat because that's the diagnostic pathway. And he'll have had some painkillers and things like that by now. So he'll be floating away in my brother's care, I imagine.
He's going to join the good stuff club, is he?
Yeah, definitely on the good stuff. So we'll see you next time.